and get started. A few notes for today. We're going to be working with heart opening and focusing on the heart chakra, Anahata, so right around this area. I would recommend having a strap or some kind of scarf or belt would work also, just something kind of long. A towel would work too, or even like an article of clothing, like a big t-shirt or long sleeve shirt or sweatshirt, something like that. That'll all work. And if you have a block, that could be useful. I'd like us to get into one balancing posture that doesn't require a block, but I find it really, really stabilizing and helpful personally. So if you have a yoga block, you can grab that. Other things that work if you don't have a yoga block would be maybe like a book, or if you have like a box set of books or like tapes or DVDs, like that's nice too. But it has to have some structure because we will be putting weight on it, so a shoebox wouldn't really work for this one. So maybe take a moment to gather up your things, grab some tea, and light some incense, or if you have any crystals or stones that you enjoy, you can go and get those. I've got a couple with me, quartz, agate. So since we're wanting to really focus on the heart chakra, I'll speak to a little bit more of the meaning behind the word Anahata. I want to speak a little bit more about chakras in general today and energy channels. So we'll kind of bringing that theme into the class around the physical body versus the subtle body. The idea of energy channels, the chakras, these like vortexes or like epicenters of where the energy originates and flows from. And I'd like us to start with some nadi shodhana breathwork. And so nadi is a word that means flow, and it's like all these little channels that that's where the energy travels through your body. And the chakras are like these main epicenters, like I said, of energy. So they originate from the chakras, but they also kind of flow through them. It's really intricate. It's really, really cool. You should look into it more. But in order to kind of open up and balance and sort of just cleanse those channels so we can be ready for our practice, we're going to work with nadi shodhana pranayama. So it's alternate nostril breathing. And I was going to recommend us starting in a heart opening posture, lying back. So before I do that, I'll show you the hand placement for the alternate nostril breath. You're always welcome when practicing this pranayama to practice without the use of the physical hands, like the hand closing off the nostrils. You can visualize the breath moving in one side and out the other. But if you'd like to use the hand placement, you've got options. So you can kind of make the hang loose hand and bring one thumb to one nostril, or the thumb to your nostril, and then you can use pinky or the second smallest finger and do it like that. Another option that I see people doing is taking their entire hand and bringing their middle finger on right where the third eye would be, and then same idea, and the small fingers to alternate there. I don't know if you can see that. But really whatever hand placement is going to be best for you, go for it. So maybe you explore, maybe you experiment. Some people keep their hand open and don't use the third eye placement. So maybe just take a few moments to figure out like what feels most comfortable with your hand. And like I said, if none of it feels comfortable, if it feels really forced, maybe you choose to skip the hand placement altogether and you work with more visualizing the exiting. Go ahead and turn on my do not disturb so we're not being distracted with those little sounds. Cool. All right. So, if you'd like to work with a heart opener for the beginning, you can. You're always welcome to take a seated meditation instead or lie flat on your back. However, I think it's really nice to encourage the shoulders to kind of come apart. So when you're lying back, you can do this in a few ways. You can take a blanket, roll it into a tube, Something kind of like this. And then place it directly behind your spine, so right at the base of the tailbone. And then gently lower back. You can stretch the legs long, or maybe you bring soles of feet together, feet wide, knees bent, legs, whatever feels comfortable. Allowing your shoulders to open like this. If you want some additional support, maybe you bring a block underneath the head or a blanket underneath the head. Another option is to use like a long pillow to support the back in place of a blanket, or even two blocks, one underneath the spine between shoulder blades and the other would be right behind your head. So settling into whatever feels most comfortable, with or without the heart opener posture. And begin to ground into your body. So locating the parts of your body that are making contact with the earth, bringing your awareness down to those spaces, feeling that connection. Eyes can stay open, or maybe your gaze softens, eventually closing down the eyes. If you're comfortable with that, then remembering this is your practice. Really listen to your body, respond intentionally, mindfully. Continue breathing. Each exhale, see if you can soften through the face, through the shoulders. Checking in. Noticing your thoughts. Returning to your breath whenever you feel distracted, or when you feel yourself wanting to attach judgment, meaning to those thoughts or feelings. And as you're ready, you can find that placement with your hand, or maybe you skip the part of using your hand and visualize. We'll go ahead and inhale through the left side, so closing off the right nostril with your hand. Once you're all the way full, close off the left side and exhale completely out the right. Keeping the left side closed, inhale through the right. Close the right side once you're full and exhale completely out the left. So that's one cycle. Continue, inhale, close off the left, exhale out the right. Inhale, right side, close the right once you're full, and exhale out the left. Inhale, left. Close the left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close. Exhale left. Continuing on on your own, inhaling through the left and continuing to alternate. This is a really calming breath, one that I use a lot when I feel anxious. It helps me slow down. Since we're alternating sides, maybe begin to feel a sense of balance. Nadi, like I said, means flow, and shodhana means purification. You're opening those channels, cleansing them. A great way to start any kind of work with the chakras, because it's encouraging that openness and that flow of energy, cleansing any imbalances between masculine and feminine, yin and yang. As we slow down our breathing, maybe notice what you're filtering out, taking in what you need and releasing what you don't. Finish up the round that you're on, so exhaling out the left side. Once you're finished, you can release your hand if it was lifted. Observe. And as you're ready, you can bring palms to touch and start rubbing your palms together, creating heat, energy, prana. And when the time feels right, you can stop rubbing your hands together and bring your hands to touch on the heart center, Anahata. Maybe you feel that literal sensation or tingling on your palms. That's the energy you've created. Bringing your hands to the heart, opening the heart here, connecting to it, bringing your awareness to it. Beginning to notice the physical body. So when we say that, we mean mass. And the subtle body, which when we say that, we mean energy. So bridging the two here. They inform one another, they intersect. But they're existing on two different planes or dimensions, if you want to think of it like that. They are two separate things. From this space of awareness, you're welcome to set an intention. Maybe ideas around love and compassion come up. Maybe you decide to dedicate your practice to a person or thing. Whatever you choose, whatever first came to mind, allow it to repeat a few times, resonating within you. And as you're ready, you can gently release the hands from the heart, allowing them to release down wherever they naturally fall. Take a cleansing breath in the nose, out an open mouth. And as you're ready, you can slowly begin to shift the body if you're using any kind of props underneath the spine to encourage your heart opener. You can remove that now by rolling off to one side. And then rolling onto your back again. Once you're there, take any intuitive movements, maybe a full body stretch. Maybe roll out wrists and ankles. You can lift arms and legs overhead and shake them out. And releasing the legs down as you're ready. We'll inhale, hugging knees to chest. As you exhale, lower both knees to one side, keeping the knees stacked for now. A gentle variation of a reclined twist. Maybe you look over the left shoulder. As you exhale, relax your shoulders into the earth. Release any tension you're holding in your belly or in the hips and the thighs. Allow gravity to do the work here. So maybe your knees are kind of hovering off the ground. That's fine. You're welcome to slide a blanket underneath them for more support, or they can hover. Not using any muscular effort here to create this shape. Instead, allowing your body to relax into it. Big inhale. As you exhale, hug knees into chest, roll onto the back again. Inhaling through center. Maybe you need to set your feet down and recenter your hips, that's fine. Moving on an exhale, you'll lower both knees to the left side of your body, just like before. Maybe you look over the right side. And maybe this side feels really different than the last side. I know it does for me. So be mindful, accommodate this side as needed. Maybe you add in a prop here or take away a prop. If you notice tension somewhere in your body, see if you can make an extra effort to release on your exhales, bringing your awareness to any of those tight spaces. Seeing if you can soften just a little bit more with each exhaling breath. One more big breath, inhaling. Exhale. Hug knees into chest, come through center again. Bring hands to shins or knees. Really hug the knees in close to your body. Start rocking left and right, massaging your low back. You can start drawing circles with your knees, going one way and then the other way. And if it feels okay, you can start rolling forward and back along the spine. If that doesn't feel okay, you can skip it and keep working with those circular motions on your back. Eventually, either rolling off to one side and pressing yourself up, or rolling all the way up to a seat. As you find your seated posture, you'll find your strap or whatever it is you're using in placement of a strap. And you can sit with legs crossed, or maybe you find a kneeling position. I'm on a little bit of a slope, so I think kneeling's gonna feel more stable for me right now. So finding your blanket or your strap or whatever it is you're using. We'll bring hands in front of us, gripping your strap, Arms are wider than shoulders, and your grip is loose. So as you inhale, reach arms overhead. As you exhale, roll the shoulders back and down, and that's why this loose grip comes in handy. You can create more space between your hands, so this is a fluid motion. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, coming down. So if you notice that your elbows are having to bend as you pull your arms back, that just means you need more space between your hands. So inhaling, reach up. Exhaling, back and down. You notice there's a big curve in your low back forming. See if you can hug your belly in towards your spine, keeping your spine really long, stacking your vertebrae on top of one another. Inhaling, lifting, exhale, back and down. Continue, lift up, exhaling forward, inhaling up, exhaling forward. Maybe after a few rounds you find that your shoulders are feeling more open and you can bring your hands closer together. You're welcome to explore here, maybe pulling the strap down behind you a few times, warming up the muscles in the back. If your arms get tired, you can take a break. But know that when we fatigue our muscles like that, we're actually creating a deeper range for mobility. So it's kind of tricking your body. When your arms are tired, your body relaxes and you're able to find a deeper range of mobility. And for these last few, if you want to get a little more weird, you can start doing these helicopter movements. So drawing circles, getting a nice big stretch for the side of the body, both sides. And then you can go the opposite direction. And you can allow your torso to kind of soften here. So before I said we're stacking the spine, now we're getting a little more fluid. So your spine is moving, it's kind of moving in all directions in the circular motion. So come up through back to center once more. Inhale, exhale, hinge to the left. Gaze can be up, straight ahead or down. Inhale, press into your sits bones, reach up through center. Exhale the other way, use your core to stay upright. Shine your heart towards the sky instead of rounding through the back. And inhale through center. Exhale, release. Whew. Shake out the hands, shake out the arms. And from here, stretching the legs out long in front of you, we'll inhale, hug knee to chest. Let's start with the left knee in first. Sit up tall. As you exhale, twist towards the bent knee, wrap your arm around it, and bring your left hand so it's like a little kickstand behind you. So your spine is really tall, twisting just from the thoracic spine, so the mid-back. Not using your shoulders to crank into this, but just moving until your body naturally stops itself. So this might not be that deep of a twist. You want to add in some neck stretches. And exhale to look over one shoulder. Inhaling center, exhaling the other way. Maybe take about 3 in each side. And then doing the same thing, lowering ear to shoulder. Inhaling to lift the head, exhaling to move one ear towards the shoulder. Alternating sides, taking about 3 on each side. Once you're finished, we'll inhale, sit up tall, maintaining the twist. Exhale, unwind, stretch your leg long, and maybe shake the legs out, compare left and right. When you're ready, inhale, hug right knee to chest, sit up tall. Exhale, twist towards the bent knee. Use your right hand as a little kickstand to keep you nice and tall. Inhale. As you exhale, add the neck stretches. Maybe this time you choose to hold each direction. for about 3 rounds of breath each, or maybe you continue with the more dynamic movement, linking breath to movement, alternating sides, 3 per side. Just like before, when you're finished, switching ear to shoulder. Again, maybe you hold this time, or maybe you continue with the dynamic movement. Inhaling, lifting head, exhaling, lowering it. And once you're finished, inhale through neutral. Exhale, unwind, stretch your leg long, shake out the legs. We'll inhale to grow tall here, and exhale, fold forward until your body stops itself. Hands can relax somewhere on the body or on either side of the legs. Head can relax, allow it to be heavy. Feel the space created between your shoulder blades. Press into your heels, so press down into the ground through your heels. Press into your sits bones. On an inhale, glide your chin forward so it's pointing towards your toes. And as you exhale, tuck chin to chest, round through the neck. So maintain this fold where your body's really heavy over the legs, inhaling, just gliding the chin forward. So your body doesn't move, only your head is what's moving. Exhale, chin to chest. One more like that. Inhale, glide chin forward, lift it up. Expose the throat. Exhale, tuck chin to chest, round through the back of the neck. This next time, as you inhale, we'll do the same thing, but press into your hands, find a flat back. So now we're lifting the torso up as we lift the chin. Bring your teeth to touch. Exhale, fold, and maybe you continue tucking chin to chest. Inhale, flat back, lift halfway, lift the chin, open through the heart. Exhale, tuck the chin to chest and round. We'll do one more like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. You inhale, walk your hands in towards you. Shift now, so we're coming into a tabletop position. So hands and knees. You can have your block, if you've got it, towards the front of your mat. If you like a blanket under the knees, you can set that there now. Finding tabletop, starting with your foundation first, rooting into your hands, spreading the fingers wide, pressing into all of your knuckles, pressing into the tops of the feet, the shins, the knees. Back is broad. Muscles in the back are active. The core is active. This should be a posture where you're having to work. So if you feel like, oh, I'm just sitting here, maybe that is your body saying, oh, you should be doing a little more to support me. So press into your hands. Find that support. Find that stability. And then as you inhale, we'll create some softness in the body. Letting the belly dip down, turning the tailbone up, sending the heart forward. Opening through the throat again. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round through the back. Press your back up towards the sky, rounding. Inhale, soften through the elbows, turn the tailbone up, belly dips down, send the heart forward. Again, bringing your awareness to the heart center as you're encouraging that opening. Exhale, find the opposing shape, your cat pose. Inhale to cow. Continue moving at your own pace, working through cat-cow a few more times. You can add intuitive movement, snaking the spine, drawing circles with the body left and right, maybe forward and back. And once you feel good with what you've done here, you can crawl the hands forward about a palm print. So now you're in a kneeling plank position with the body. So really long line from knees to head. Hands are still under shoulders. Inhale here, pressing into the tops of your feet. As you exhale, bend the elbows and sweep your torso down along the inside of the arms, lowering all the way to your belly. Continue with some more heart-opening postures and continuing with some strength building. So we're going to slide elbows and shoulders so forearms are flat on the ground, Sphinx pose. A good gauge to see if your shoulders are at a comfortable distance could be wrapping hands around elbows. If that feels a little too constricted, maybe you just scoot your elbows out a little wider. I have pretty broad shoulders, so mine are slightly wider than that test of taking opposite elbows with your hands. Spread the fingers wide just like we did in our tabletop position. Lift one leg, stretch it long, set it back down, press into the top of the foot. Do that with the other leg. Root down through the pelvis, through the pubic bone. And then as you inhale, it's like you're trying to drag yourself forward using just your hands. So find that pulling back sensation underneath the hands and forearms, rooting down through the lower half of your body. Inhale, lift the heart in front of you. So if you're looking down, you'll lift the gaze, send the heart forward. Exhale, holding this shape. Seeing if you can relax the face. Maybe you're feeling a little shaky in your body. I know I am. I'm definitely building some heat right now. Check in to make sure you're not holding your breath. And instead, inhaling through the nose. Maybe you're constricting the back of the throat for your redyed pranayama. Another warming breath. Exhaling slowly and completely. Just a few more rounds here. Inhaling, maybe you squeeze the shoulder blades a little closer together and your heart lifts even more. Exhale, hold the shape, relax the face. One more like that. Inhale, lift through the heart, squeeze shoulder blades together, press down through the pelvis. As you exhale, you can lower all the way down. Hands can slide by your sides, palms facing up, laying on your belly in a prone position. Allowing your shoulders to soften down towards the ground. Relaxing your entire body. From here, sliding hands under shoulders, tucking toes, pressing yourself up through a kneeling plank the way we came in. And as you exhale, lift the knees, send the feet back, or the hips back and up, finding Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Once you get there, you can pedal out the feet. Check in with your hands, just as we've been doing with these other postures. Spread the fingers wide, press down into all of your knuckles. Roll your shoulders away from your ears so your biceps are spinning in towards your face and your elbow creases are spinning kind of in towards your face and up towards the sky. Keep your knees bent as much as you like. Adding movement as you need, as it feels good. Maybe stillness feels good today. Be open to whatever your body's asking for. And when you're ready, begin to travel to the top of your mat, inhaling as you do so and finding your half lift at the top of that inhale. Keeping your knees slightly bent, exhale into your forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, flat back, gaze is down and slightly forward, weight is in the balls of the feet. Exhale, fold. Last one, inhale, half lift, flat back, arms reach in either side, press into your feet, lift all the way through standing, reach towards the sky, root down through your feet, exhale, hands at heart. Few rounds of breath here. As you're ready, at the front of your mat, we'll inhale, keeping the knees soft, reach arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward, guide with the heart. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, hands find the ground, or maybe blocks if you've got them, stepping back to your plank pose, inhaling there. Exhale, lower knees, lower all the way down. Inhale, Bhujangasana, Cobra. So similar to Sphinx, we're rooting down through the tops of the legs, through the pubic bone, lifting the heart up, squeezing shoulder blades together, exhaling, lowering. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, peel the chest up. Exhale, lower down. One more, inhale, roll shoulders up, back, and down as you peel the heart up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, tuck toes, press up through kneeling or maybe a full plank. Exhaling, returning to your down dog. This time, once you get there, lift through the left leg, toes point down, keeping your hips squared to the mat. So imagine if there were like flashlights on your hip bones, both of them would be shining down towards your mat. Inhale, lift up through both legs. So lift the left leg up towards the sky, lift the right heel off of your mat. As you exhale, lower the right heel back down to the mat. Bend into the left knee, begin to open through the left leg, so through the left hip. So if you notice that you're wanting to shine your heart kind of towards the left, underneath you're looking under your armpit, see if you can direct your torso back down towards the ground. Even weight distribution into both hands. You're just working with opening the hip. Maybe you draw some circles here. And go the other way. Eventually coming back through that open hip stance. Exhaling, directing both hips towards the sky. Extend both legs long. Inhale here. And as you exhale, hug knee into chest. Shoulders come over wrists. Kick your leg over to the right. So we're coming into a side plank variation. You're always welcome to set the left knee down instead, reaching the arm up, or kicking the left leg, or the right leg, no, sorry, the left leg over to the right, rooting down through the left hand and reaching your arm up. Maybe you reach back even more through the right arm, shining heart towards the sky. Exhale, unwind. Kick your leg back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, lower the foot down. Come forward, plank pose. Exhale, lower knees, lower all the way down, cobra on your inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, tuck toes, press yourself up and back, down dog. At any point, if you'd like to take a child's pose, if you need a break, just need some extra time between transitions, you're welcome to do that. We're going to continue, but go at your own pace. So inhaling, finding three-legged dog on the other side, lifting the right leg this time. Toes point down, hips are squared to your mat. Lift up onto the ball of the left foot. Lift the right leg a little higher. Exhale, lower the heel of the grounded foot back down. Inhale, bend the right knee, find your opening through the hip. Maybe you stay here, maybe you add those circular motions. Going both ways if you are. Coming back to your starting point with the hip open, inhale. Exhale, turn the hips to face the mat. Hug knee to chest, shoulders come over wrists, kick the leg over to the left this time. Slide the right foot down onto your mat, reach open with the left arm. Squeezing shoulder blades together, shining chest towards the sky. Alternative option here would be to keep the knee down. On an exhale, unwind. Hands find the mat, right under the shoulders. Kicking the right leg all the way back for your three-legged dog. Exhale, lower the foot down. We'll come through one more round of cobra, finding your plank pose first on the inhale. Exhale, lower knees, lower all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, push yourself up through kneeling plank, and then back into a child's pose. Noticing the heat your body's created. Maybe you find stillness here. Maybe you rock left to right in your hips. Breathing into the back of your body. Closing down the eyes, doing whatever you need to feel grounded. Slowing your heart rate here in this space of rest. So like I've mentioned before, Anahata is Sanskrit for what we think of as the heart center, or it's commonly translated as heart. But the word actually breaks down in Sanskrit to mean sound produced without two parts. It's also translated to mean pure, clean, or stainless. And I was reading about it earlier and I wrote down this little bit of information that I found really interesting. So while you're in your child's pose, I'm just going to read this to you. Again, feel free to take any intuitive movements while you're in this shape. So the name Anahata signifies the state of freshness. The freshness that appears when we're able to look at different or seemingly contradictory experiences of life with a state of openness. So I'm going to repeat that because I found that really, really cool to think about. The name signifies the state of freshness that appears when we are able to look at the different or contradictory experiences of life with a state of openness or expansion. So when we're working with Anahata, there's this possibility to integrate two opposite forces, with the result being this effect, and you know, I said that it translates to sound produced without two parts, which is kind of an abstract idea. So the possibility to integrate two opposite forces, and in this situation we're talking about sound, without two forces being confronted or without them touching. So this is this idea of cooperation, integration, and just bringing things into a new perspective, especially around the idea of peace. So just something to think about as we continue on our practice, finding new perspectives, finding that that union among things that we see as contradictory, and maybe that union is really just a new perspective or a fresh take on things. Before we continue, take a moment to check in with your physical body. Check in with your subtle body, the energetic body. And on an inhale, we'll shift back forward into our kneeling plank, tucking toes. Inhale, lift the knees, send the hips back and up or down dog. 3 rounds of breath in your down dog. As you inhale, walk hands to meet the feet at the back of your mat. Exhaling once you get there. Inhale to find your half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press into your feet, reach all the way up through standing. Exhale, hands at heart. Continuing, inhale, knees are soft, reach up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, guide with your heart, coming forward into your fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, and then crawl your hands back out to your down dog. Inhale, lift through the right leg this time. Exhale, hug knee to chest, step forward, plant your foot on the inside of the right hand. So finding a runner's lunge, knees lifted. Inhale here, and as you exhale, tuck the back knee down. Untuck the toes, or keep them tucked, whatever you like actually is fine here. And reach up overhead on your inhale. Seeing if you can exhale, sending hips forward as you lift the heart even higher, reaching your arms back behind the head. Inhale here. Exhale, soften in. Inhale, reach up through the hands. Exhale, hands behind the ground. Back toe tucks if it's not already. And we're going to make like a little spring with our legs. So we'll inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, lift off through the back leg, finding standing split. So just like in our three-legged dog, hips are squared to the ground. Hands can be, maybe you're on like tented fingers. Maybe you have your block here. Maybe you're feeling really stretched out through the backs of the legs and your hands find the grounded leg. One or both if you're working on balancing. Maybe you're working here, or if you'd like to open up the hips and find that kind of secondary balancing posture I was talking about earlier, one where the block comes in really handy. You'll inhale to find a half lift. As you exhale, left hand will find the heart and begin to open up towards the left side. So working into half moon. You can bend the knee here. Right hand can stay grounded. Maybe you have your block. You get a little more height. Maybe you extend through the left arm. Maybe you extend through the left leg. Opening through the heart. Exhale, come out, hand to heart, knee bends, sending hips towards the floor again. Exhale, step back. Both hands are at the mat. Step the other foot to meet the left one in your plank pose. Exhale, knees lower, lower all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, tuck toes, press up through plank or kneeling plank, finding your down dog. Inhale, lift through the left foot this time. Exhale, knee to chest, big step forward. Low lunge, runner's lunge, so your knees lifted. Inhale here, and as you exhale, touch the back knee down. Maybe toes stay tucked, or maybe you untuck them, your preference. Inhale, lift up through low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Then hips forward, exhaling, reaching arms back behind you. One more round of breath here, seeing if you can reach back a little farther, if it's okay. And on an exhale, hands find the mat. Inhale, back toe tuck, back knee lifts. Find that little springing motion. I always like to kind of test my joints here, like warming them up. So inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift off the back leg, standing split. And maybe this is where you stay today. This is a really challenging posture for balance. Requires your legs to be pretty loose, pretty stretched out. Maybe you're working with your back more flat, or maybe you're folding deeper. Hands can be at the ground, or maybe you walk them in towards the grounded leg. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you start working towards half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. I like using the block here, but it's up to you. Your right hand will find your heart as you bend into the lifted knee, opening through that side of the body, so now you're facing towards the right. Maybe you stay here, maybe you extend through the leg and the arm, shining your whole body towards the right. It's okay if you fall out of it. We call this a practice for a reason. It's a lesson in humility and not taking things so seriously. As you're ready, we'll come out. I like to bring hand to heart, bend through the knee, direct my torso so it's square to the ground again. So I curl my hands onto the floor. Big step back with the right leg. Left foot steps back to meet it. You're in your plank pose now. Exhale, lower down. With the knees, lower all the way down to the belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press yourself up through kneeling plank, and exhale, child's pose. Keeping your toes tucked in this child's pose. We'll be here for 3 rounds of breath. So I know we've been working with Anahata, the heart chakra, and I haven't mentioned love very much. Instead, I've been focusing on this idea of openness and seeing things from a different perspective. One where negativity is not present, where you're following your heart or listening to your true self, your higher self. Once all of that is in place, I think we're able to lead from a place of love and compassion. On an inhale, see if you can just spring your hips up. So from this child's pose with your toes tucked, we'll inhale, extending through the legs. So lengthen through the legs, lift the hips, now you're in downward dog. You're welcome to stay here, or if you'd like, you can work with three-legged dog and opening the hip again. So let's start with the left leg, inhaling to lift up, bend the knee, open the hip. Maybe you stay here, adding movements with the ankle, or maybe even the hip joint, making circles. Or if you want to flip your dog and find wild thing, you can. So with this, we're gonna root down through the right hand, step back through the left leg, reach up, lift the heart towards the sky, a really expressive, fun pose. Big inhales, reach through the left hand. Inhale, exhale, sweep left hand back to the mat, unwind, kick through the left leg, three-legged dog, exhale, lower the foot down. We'll do it on the other side. If you need to take a break in between, that's fine. We'll inhale, whenever you're ready, lifting the right leg this time, bending knee, maybe staying here. Really working on keeping your torso square to the mat. It's really challenging. Always having to remind myself to dial my heart back down so it's facing the earth in three-legged dog. So maybe you stay here. Maybe you flip the dog. Stepping back with the right leg this time, reaching through right arm, letting your head fall back, sending hips up, squeezing glutes, lifting through the heart. Inhale, exhale. Right hand finds the mat, kick back through right leg, lower the foot down. From down dog, we're going to wave directly to upward facing dog, or the Mukha, excuse me. Whew. Inhaling, coming onto the toes, rolling through the back, coming forward into your plank, but with a pop step back. Flip the feet, lower the hips, finding upward facing dog. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, lift the hips, send them back and up, flip the feet, find downward facing dog. From here, walking your feet to the center of your mat, crossing the ankles and finding a seated posture. Finding your breath if you've lost track of it. Maybe giving yourself a smile for all the hard work you've done. That was a pretty physically demanding sequence, in my opinion. Maybe you're feeling your heart beating. Bring your awareness to your heart. Maybe even bringing your hands to it. Having that physical identification with your body, your literal body, the physical body, this chunk of mass. Check in with your subtle body, the energetic body, the higher self. What words come to mind? As we sit here for another minute or so, maybe you work with mantra. I am love. all love resides within me. I welcome love into my life. I release negativity so I can see clearly from a space of love. Maybe one of these resonates with you. Maybe you find your own. Staying here for a few more moments. I'll let you know when we're finished with this meditation. Take 3 more rounds of deep breathing. On your final exhale, you can release the hands down. The eyes were closed, you can begin to open them. Extending through the right leg, bringing the sole of the left foot on the inside of the leg, so you're extending at an angle. Inhaling, sit up tall, finding a slower pace now. Inhale, hands come to the back of the head. Exhale, twist until your body stops you towards the extended leg. Inhale to grow tall once more. As you exhale, fold over the extended leg again until your body stops you, and that's when you lower your hands to the ground. Pressing down through the heel of the right foot. Allowing for a soft bend in the right knee, the one that you're folding over. You're welcome to stay here if you'd like to add a little bit more heart opening. On your inhale, bring left hand to the back of the head. Lift your elbow towards the ceiling as you spin the heart open. Exhale, unwind, elbow points towards the ground. Maybe it even taps down. Do about 3 of those if you're working with this variation. Inhaling, pressing down through the right hand as you peel the heart open, stack the shoulders, squeeze shoulder blades together, exhale, unwind. You can move slowly here. Taking 1 more if you're working with the movement variation. Inhaling. Maybe you extend through the left arm for this last one. And exhale, cartwheel the hand down, folding over the extended leg and holding for 3 more rounds of breath. Always welcome to stay here longer if you'd like. I know this feels really good in my body. Whenever you do feel ready to come out of the pose, we'll inhale to a flat back, half lift, and exhale, walk the hands in towards you. Switching which side you're working with, so opposite foot comes to the inside of the leg, pressing down through the heel of the extended foot. Inhale, sit up really tall, exhale, soften through the shoulders and face.